Welcome to Free Agency Frenzy, and what a frenzy it has been. We're coming to you live from NFL Films, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I am merely Will Selva. These are the real players right here. Kim Jones, our Super Bowl champ here, Shaun O'Hara, and of course, Judy Batista. And we appreciate all of you watching us. We ourselves are practicing social distancing. We certainly urge all of you at home to do the same.
Spacing. Social spacing.
Very important. Social spacing is extremely important, and we know these are uncertain times, but thank you for watching us. If we can provide you with any kind of respite from what's going on, some entertainment, maybe a few laughs, and certainly some information, we are obviously doing our
And Will,
jobs.
Can I be the first one to say top of the morning to you all? Top of the morning to the world.
Top of the morning to you all.
Is the holy day, St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody.
Also,
and, I already found the leprechaun, Craig Germain, this morning. So we've already found the pot of gold. Everything else is just gravy.
Well put there by our Shaun O'Hara. So if you went to bed early, you missed a flurry of late-night breaking news. First, Amari Cooper will remain a Cowboy. He gets a huge deal to stay in Dallas. On the same day, the Cowboys tagged Dak Prescott. And how about this? Stefon Diggs heading to the Bills. And that's only half the story. We're still counting the draft picks the Vikings got in return, which raises even more questions about the DeAndre Hopkins trade yesterday. That shocked, well, pretty much everyone. D-Hop now a Cardinal, and Bill O'Brien has some questions to answer. And we have plenty of questions as well for all our crew. Let's bring in Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo, Tom Pelissero, who were up late last night. We had to pry them loose. They're heavily caffeinated. Don't put any cups by Garafolo. They are not safe. And Garafolo, oh, Ian, you're still shaking your head. It's part of the frenzy.
I haven't yet.
You know?
I haven't even started.
Get one of these.
I haven't started to pour any coffee down my throat or on my coat and my desk.
Do you have an extra sport coat somewhere in that room? Is this like a Superman situation where when that inevitably happens, you can just pop over there, come right back on in the same segment?
Yeah, he's got one.
Yes.
Prove it.
Yeah, exactly. Sean's already asking, prove it. All right, so Ian, we talked about this Amari deal. Talk us through how it finally got done.
No, this was a deal that has been in the works really for some time, and it's been clear that Amari Cooper was not leaving Dallas, and Dallas wanted Amari Cooper to stay as well. Of course they did. He was one of the best receivers in football last year, and of course has been since he came over in a trade to Dallas. And as soon as they learned the rules, as soon as the CBA was passed, Dallas got to work on this deal. It is a 5-year deal, $100 million for Amari Cooper, $60 million guaranteed. And this deal, from what I understand, was simply not getting done unless it reached the $20 million mark. That's what Amari Cooper was waiting for. It took a little, probably longer than some thought for the Cowboys to get there. But in the end, they keep 2 of their core guys. Obviously, Dak Prescott stays on the exclusive franchise tag, $33 million, and then Amari Cooper stays as well. 5 years, 100 for Amari.
And Tom, that wasn't the only wide receiver news that we got yesterday.
That's right. Late last night, things heated up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills, ending with Stefon Diggs being traded to Buffalo. It's Diggs and a 7th-round pick going to the Bills in exchange for the Bills' first-round draft pick, that's number 22 overall, as well as 5th and 6th-round picks this year and a 4th-round pick in 2021. Now, Vikings general manager Rick Spielman had said at the Combine, had said in other settings, that there was no reason to believe Diggs would not be on the roster come 2020. And that was true. The Vikings were not going to move him unless they got substantial compensation. Well, the Bills stepped up to the table with that. The Vikings get out of this resources to fill some other holes on their roster. They got a lot of questions, particularly right now at the cornerback position. Also have more flexibility when it comes to the draft now, owning multiple first-round draft picks. And they reduced the drama, all the tweets, everything else that has surrounded Diggs. Even though he came back after going AWOL for a few days last fall and getting fined by the team, everybody in the building said he was pretty good overall. But they move on from him. The Bills get a very good young player who's still only 26 years old, coming off of consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. It is a known commodity that Buffalo is hoping is going to help out their young quarterback, Josh Allen.
Tom, put this in context in comparison to the deal that sent D-Hop to Arizona.
That was a unique deal for a lot of reasons, and that was one that the Cardinals and the Texans had been working on for a week. With David Johnson, the issue Arizona found when they were shopping him around, and it's no surprise, is the contract. Johnson's due $10.2 million, fully guaranteed in 2020, and another $2.1 million of his salary for 2021 becomes fully guaranteed by the end of the week. That is a lot of money for a running back, particularly one who is not particularly productive as he moved into Cliff Kingsbury's offense last season. The fact that they not only got something of value for David Johnson, but ended up landing one of the best players in the NFL in DeAndre Hopkins is a credit to general manager Steve Keim. Now, they did give up a second-round draft pick. That was an important piece of the deal, maybe even more important than Johnson going over, because the Texans short on draft resources. They had made a lot of trades last offseason, including one involving their first-round pick. They still do not have a one this season, but now at least the Texans have a second-rounder. That gives them some flexibility as they move forward here. But a big-time deal to land a star receiver for Kyler Murray as they try to jumpstart an offense that did, in the second half of last season, show some signs of life as they moved into Kingsbury's offense.
All right, Tom Pelissero with the very latest there. Now you can go back to your phones. I know there's plenty of information out there and plenty of tweets as well. This from Darius Slayton. All my life, I thought I had 20/20 vision until I read this. Gotta be me, right? Because I know this don't say what I think it says. Oh, it does, Darius. It indeed does. There is so much to delve into. So let's talk about Stefon Diggs first and how that has improved the Buffalo Bills. We talked about it yesterday, the culture and what McDermott has done there. They've also surrounded their young signal caller with yet another weapon, Judy.
Think how happy this must make Stefon Diggs, whose big complaint in Minnesota was that they didn't throw the ball downfield.
Right.
That is not going to be an issue with Josh Allen as the quarterback. He's got the arm to get it about as far as Stefon Diggs can run. I think it is great for him and great for the Buffalo offense. We know that they need more weapons for him. It's a great deal for them. The Vikings get plenty in return. I think it's a good deal for them, too, and they do get the drama out of the locker room. To reiterate what Tom got to, I mean, what this says about the Texans trade is nothing good, nothing positive, because we're all going to compare these trades going forward probably for a long time, and it's unlikely that the Texans are going to come out looking good, but I think tremendous for the Bills. And
you look at the Bills, though, for them, 10-plus wins for the first time since 1999. And they made the playoffs there. Now, with Stefon Diggs, it adds another element to that offense, Shaun.
Yeah, certainly. And I can flash back to the playoff game against the Houston Texans, and it just felt like, man, the Buffalo Bills had a chance to win that game. They just didn't have enough offensive firepower. I mean, it was Josh Allen basically trying to will this team on a third and long and a fourth down and using his legs. Now, with Brian Daboll, you've got an additional weapon. They had John Brown. They had a burner in him. So now if you can add Diggs to this whole formula, I think this Buffalo Bills team, they were already dangerous last year because of their defense and because of what Josh Allen could do from a standpoint of extending the play. But now this offense is legitimate. I really loved the draft of Cody Ford last year offensively and what that helped them do up front. But now this really helps on the outside.
Well, and Cole Beasley there in the slot, and he had a good season last year. This is a Bills operation right now under Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott that really believes once you get to their locker room, you're going to want to fit in, you will fit in, and you will find a lot of comfort there. That is as good a locker room as I've been in an awfully long time. And it's partly because in free agency, they've been very smart. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer might be the best safety tandem in the league. They got them both in the same free agency period. They still have them both now. And that's as good as it gets when you talk about free agency acquisitions. And then you talk about the way they've drafted. Devin Singletary is on his way to being one of those players we don't talk about enough in this league.
Right.
Because
No,
he's
absolutely.
really, really good and explosive. And he soaked in every ounce of knowledge Frank Gore would give him last year. It was wonderful to see the two of them together. I don't think we're going to see them together anymore, but I think Gore left Singletary with a lot of lessons. This is going to be, for Stefon Diggs, the kind of fresh start that I believe he will welcome and where he can thrive. And I think that that's a credit to Buffalo, and I think Diggs will recognize that and want it to work.
My advice on Diggs real quick, buy some sleeves, bro. Guess what? You've been playing indoors in Minnesota, all right? Guess what? You better buy some sleeves.